Welcome, seekers of dark legends and forgotten tales. Tonight, we uncover the chilling story of the Witch Queen's curse, a tale steeped in mystery, betrayal, and supernatural power. Whispers say her wrath was sealed in blood, echoing through centuries, binding kingdoms to shadows and despair. What began as a quest for vengeance became an eternal nightmare, haunting those who dared to challenge her dominion. Join us as we peel back the veil of history, folklore, and forbidden magic to reveal the truth behind the Witch Queen's enduring curse. Dare you listen? The darkness awaits. The Witch Queen's curse. Across the ages, whispers of curses have haunted the human imagination. Stories of enchantments cast not out of whimsy, but vengeance, protection, or despair. Among the most chilling and enduring of these tales is that of the Witch Queen's curse, a legend that merges power, tragedy, and the consequences of forbidden knowledge. Unlike fleeting ghost stories, the curse of the Witch Queen represents a myth that has rippled through generations, shaping beliefs about witchcraft, authority, and the perilous dance between the mortal and the supernatural. This story is not only about dark magic, but also about the struggle for survival in a world where faith, fear, and ambition collided. To understand the Witch Queen's curse, one must explore who she was, the roots of her power, the events that led to her downfall, and the enduring shadow her curse left upon the world. The birth of the Witch Queen. Long before kingdoms rose into empires and cities became fortresses of human progress, there lived a woman whose name has since been lost to the winds of time. She is remembered only as the Witch Queen, a sovereign who reigned over a land hidden deep in the forests, where moonlight bent unnaturally, and the air was said to shimmer with enchantment. Her domain was not one of stone castles and iron armies, but of roots, rivers, and spirits. Legends claim she was born under a blood moon, when the veil between worlds was thin. Her cries echoed with such force that owls took flight, wolves howled, and flames burst from nearby torches though no wind stirred them. From birth, it was clear she was not ordinary. Trained by a sisterhood of priestesses, she mastered herbalism, divination, and the forbidden tongues of the unseen spirits. But unlike other witches who dwelled in secrecy, she rose to power not by hiding but by claiming dominion. With her mastery, she united the scattered tribes of her land, healing their sick, ensuring fertile harvests, and calling down storms upon their enemies. It was then she became the Witch Queen, both adored and feared. Her reign lasted decades. Crops flourished under her rituals, rivers flowed sweet, and wolves patrolled the borders of her kingdom as guardians. Yet, the greater her gifts, the darker her shadow grew. Her enemies whispered she had made a pact with forces beyond mortality, promising her throne's endurance in exchange for the souls of her people. The Queen's fall. Power attracts envy as flames draw moths. The Witch Queen's enemies were not only external. Kings of neighboring realms, priests of the rising faiths, and even some within her court grew restless beneath her supernatural grip. The breaking point came when the new faith arrived, a religion of iron and scripture, demanding submission to one God alone. To them, the Witch Queen was a heretic, a blasphemer, a consort of demons. Her magic, which had been her people's salvation, was branded as an abomination. The neighboring kings allied with zealot priests and waged war upon her kingdom. Steel clashed with spells, and the land itself seemed to tremble. Witnesses spoke of armies struck blind by swarms of crows, of rivers boiling in fury, and of night skies raining fire. For a time, it seemed the Witch Queen's sorcery would prevail, but betrayal struck from within. Legends claim her most trusted advisor, driven by jealousy or fear, revealed the secret to breaking her defenses. On the eve of her greatest battle, her enemies infiltrated her sacred grove, desecrated her altars, and bound her magic with holy relics. The Queen was captured, not slain, for they feared her spirit would wreak havoc if untethered. Instead, she was paraded before her people, accused of witchcraft, and condemned. In a pyre of ironwood and sacred salt, they sought to burn away her power forever. But fire cannot destroy fire. The curse unleashed. As flames licked her body, the Witch Queen did not scream. Instead, she raised her voice, chanting words older than the stars. Her enemies fell silent, sensing something unnatural. Her hair, a flame, became a crown of fire. Her eyes glowed white, and with her final breath, she cast a curse so vast, so venomous, that the land itself wept. You strip me of throne and flesh, yet my will you cannot chain. My blood binds the soil, my grief binds your line. None shall rule in peace where I have reigned, for shadow and sorrow shall be your heirs. The pyre collapsed into ash, but when the smoke cleared, her body was gone. Some say the flames consumed her into nothingness. Others insist she transformed into a raven that flew into the storm. But what remained was not silence. It was the curse. From that day, the victors who had claimed her lands found themselves plagued by calamity. Fields rotted, rivers dried, and children were born with strange marks upon their skin. Kings rose only to be driven mad by whispers in the night. Priests who had condemned her were struck blind, their eyes bleeding with black tears. The curse was not a single event, but a living shadow, creeping through bloodlines and generations, never allowing stability to take root. Tales of the Cursed Kingdom. Centuries of folklore surrounding the Witch Queen's curse have given rise to countless variations, each adding layers to her legend. Among the most enduring are the line of the withered kings. Every ruler who claimed her throne met a violent or unnatural end. Some fell in battle against unseen foes, others were consumed by madness, while a few simply withered to dust overnight. Chroniclers described their deaths as the queen's laughter carried by the wind. The black harvests, once fertile lands, turned unpredictable. In some years, crops grew twisted and bitter. In others, they bloomed in unnatural abundance, only to decay into black sludge before harvest. Locals claimed the soil itself was bound to the Witch Queen's grief. The Raven's Watch, a great black raven, said to be her transformed spirit, was often sighted on castle walls before tragedies. Its cry was believed to foretell death within 3 nights. Families barred windows, yet still the raven perched upon rooftops, watching. The marked children. Every generation produced at least one child bearing the Queen's mark, a crescent-shaped birthmark on the chest or hand. Such children were fated for tragedy, often accused of witchcraft or lost mysteriously before adulthood. Some were said to display uncanny abilities, fueling fears that the Witch Queen's bloodline still flowed among the cursed. Interpretations of the curse. Though terrifying, the Witch Queen's curse has long been interpreted in many ways depending on who tells the tale. As divine punishment, followers of the new faith claimed the curse was not truly hers, but God's punishment upon those who had harbored her sorcery. In their sermons, the Witch Queen became a symbol of pride destroyed by holy wrath. As resistance. In folk traditions, she is remembered not as a villain, but as a martyr who resisted invaders. Her curse is seen as a rightful vengeance, a promise that no conqueror could ever truly possess her land. As legacy, some modern occultists and neo-pagan groups view the Witch Queen's curse as less of a punishment and more of a binding spell of protection, ensuring that her sacred lands remain untamed by tyrants and corrupted kings. As metaphor, historians often argue the curse is symbolic, representing centuries of warfare, famine, and instability caused by human greed. The Witch Queen may have been a powerful ruler whose downfall left a power vacuum, remembered through the poetic language of myth. The Witch Queen in cultural memory. The Witch Queen's curse has echoed through literature, theater, and song. Medieval bards sang of her as a tragic heroine, while later church texts demonized her as a warning against heresy. In Gothic poetry, she appears as the archetypal femme fatale, beautiful yet terrifying. In modern times, she has been reimagined in novels, films, and games as either a villainous sorceress or a misunderstood queen wronged by patriarchy and zealotry. Her curse serves as a haunting backdrop for stories of love, betrayal, and rebellion. Some villages still hold annual rituals said to appease the Witch Queen, leaving offerings of black feathers, bowls of milk, or moonlit dances. Whether out of genuine belief or tradition, these acts keep her legend alive. Why the curse endures. What gives the Witch Queen's curse such enduring power? Beyond superstition, it speaks to universal fears and truths. The fear of female power. Many cultures have demonized women who wield influence outside patriarchal structures. The Witch Queen embodies that fear, a woman who ruled, commanded, and defied, punished for her strength. The price of betrayal. Her downfall came not merely from foreign enemies, but from betrayal within her circle, a timeless reminder of the fragility of loyalty. The echo of vengeance. The curse reflects humanity's belief that injustices cannot simply vanish. They demand reckoning, whether through fate, spirits, or memory. The unyielding spirit of the land. More than a personal story, her curse binds the idea that the land itself resists conquest, that soil, water, and shadow remember the blood spilled upon them. Could the curse be broken? Folklore often raises the possibility of redemption. Some versions of the tale suggest the curse can be lifted, but only through impossible tasks. A ruler of pure heart must reign without bloodshed. The marked child must willingly sacrifice themselves beneath a blood moon. The raven must be caught and fed with bread baked from the first harvest. Or, most daringly, someone must descend into the queen's burial place, if she has one, and beg forgiveness in her name. None of these have ever been fulfilled, at least according to legend. Some believe the curse was never meant to be broken, but to ensure her memory never faded. The Witch Queen's curse endures not because it is a mere superstition, but because it is a story woven with human truth. It tells of a woman who rose beyond her time, wielded immense power, and was destroyed for it. It speaks of betrayal, vengeance, and the eternal question of whether justice ever truly dies. Whether one believes she was a demon, a martyr, or a misunderstood ruler, her curse lingers in the imagination as a warning that power cannot be stolen without consequence, and that some voices echo long after they are silenced. In the hush of the forest, where ravens gather and the air grows still, one might almost hear her whisper, reminding us that curses, like stories, are never truly broken. And so, the legend of the Witch Queen's curse lingers, a haunting reminder of power, vengeance, and the price of defiance. Whether myth or truth, her shadow still stretches across time, warning us of forces best left undisturbed. If this tale gripped your imagination, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the darkest corners of history and folklore. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the Witch Queen's curse was real, or just a story to inspire fear? Until our next descent into the unknown, stay curious, and beware what sleeps in the dark.